Hey guys, Peter here to do an album review today. I'm here to tell you all about the latest album from Dawn of Solace, Waves, out January 24th on Noble Demon. This album has 8 tracks, 41 minutes in length, and this is the band's second studio album. Before I get started with this album review, I have to say this. For those of you familiar with Thomas and his work, this album delivers on every front. This is another powerful masterpiece. This guy's got the Midas touch. Everything he touches turns to gold. This album is no different. Now, as far as the album is concerned, let's get right into it. This album, in my opinion, really delivers musically on its name, Waves. It really feels like the whole album is just this cold Arctic ocean where beauty, death, and melancholy come together to both give and take life. To me, that's the main feel, the main atmosphere that I took away from listening to this record. The album works itself as a metaphor from that perspective. It really has a universal message, in my opinion, hidden beneath the waves of its tracks. That's the overall feel that I get from this record. It's a combination of factors, but they're all intertwined and they're all interconnected from the first to the last song, from the lyrics to the delivery to the music to the atmosphere. All of these currents, underlining currents, come together to deliver one solid record that there's no give, there's no soft spot from the first to the last track. It's just very well put together, very strong, very concise. That leads me into the structure of the album. I really feel the structure of this album is fundamental in how the album plays out, and how the album sounds, and how the album feels, and how you allow yourself to get lost into it. Because to me, the structure of this album is such as of a riptide. You get pulled in with the first track, and the more you listen to the album, the more you start to drift away. The more you start to get lost into it, the more you feel yourself in this ocean fog, not knowing where is north, where is south, where is east, where is land. You just feel yourself completely adrift with every single song that goes by on this record. Now, each song has a very unique structure to it, has a very unique sound and approach. Normally when you have a record that has that kind of dynamic sound to it, it's very easy to feel broken and to feel disconnected from track to track. It's not the case with this album. I really feel the atmosphere that 3 main elements, that being the vocals, guitars, and drums, bring to the table. Those 3 elements together create a lot of atmosphere, and the overall atmosphere that the album has, combined with the vocals, are perhaps the 2 main ingredients that really allow this album to be concise and hold it together. Not allowing the album to feel broken, not allow the album to feel disconnected, not allowing the album to feel like a collection of 8 songs that somehow ended up on the same record. No, they have there's a lot of individuality within each track, but the whole album at the same time is very concise, very put together, and feels like one unique and one single body of work and one single living organism. Now, going into the guitars, I really feel like the guitars are one of those 3 elements that are really the lifelines of this record. I love the melodies, I love the solos, I love the riffs. Everything surrounding the guitar work on this album is phenomenal. I feel like the guitars are the soul of this record. Perhaps the drums being the heartbeat, the vocals being the motion that you get from it that adds to that atmosphere, but the guitars are without a doubt the soul of the record. I feel that way about it because the guitars just allow the songs to go into different places, to change the mood, to change the ambiance that the tracks have, and all of that. The driving force is really the guitars as far as melody, as far as atmosphere, as far as ambiance. I love the dynamic changes from track to track, but even built in on the same tracks. Absolutely phenomenal work. Next, in my opinion, is the vocals. That to me is one of the consistent factors of this album, and one of the factors that really holds this whole record together, because they never change. They're very constant. It doesn't matter the structure of the song, it doesn't matter the dynamic changes of the track, the vocals stay pretty much very leveled all the way through from the first to the last song. There is a little bit of a blip in the screen during the song Tulley, and I'll mention that a little bit more further ahead when I talk about my favorite 3 songs. But overall, the vocals are very mellow, clean, steady all the way through, really allowing the record to be concise, really being that rope that connects every single song together. I love that aspect of the vocals. I love the fact that they used backing vocals to give some songs a little bit more volume, a little bit more presence. It's really important when the vocals are this clean, this melancholic. in certain tracks, you really need to add something to really boost the energy, to really make them feel like they're a lot bigger without using harsh vocals. So using backing vocals really allow them to have that kind of volume, that kind of dynamic within certain tracks. The drums, the last aspect in my opinion of this record, are absolutely gorgeous. I love the heartbeat that they gave to the record, going away, being more in the forefront, a little bit heavier, a little bit more dynamic, really setting the tone to the track, then sometimes falling a little bit more into the background, allowing the song to go in different directions, not being one of the main staples as far as when you sit down, you listen to the song. The drums are not necessarily in the forefront, letting you know that they're there, but they're always there, and they're always peeking their head within certain turns to let you know that this album, while full of sorrow and very melancholic and very dark, having that kind of atmosphere, is still a heavy record, and that heaviness most of the times really comes from the drums. Absolutely phenomenal work as far as the drums are concerned on this record. I loved it. Overall, this album is nothing short of perfection, and that's what I said at the beginning of the review. I really feel that all the goals that Thomas set for himself and for this record, I think they were achieved without a shadow of a doubt. This is a magnificent album, a magnificent body of work. All 8 songs are just, there's not one single song that you could say that you could skip, or that song is just kind of a filler because you wanted to put 8 songs instead of 7. No, every single song has a spot on this record. Every single song deserves a spot on this record. They all bring something different to the table. They all bring something unique, and at the same time, they all have something in common that really unifies these 8 tracks together to make this wonderful record. Now, as far as songs are concerned, I want to start with Silence. Very somber opening from the song, both musically and vocally. It becomes even more somber when the keyboard melody comes in after the first verse. It really just adds to that atmosphere that the song has. It adds to that somber aspect that the track has. As that keyboard melody starts to go away, the song becomes heavier, and that heaviness comes from the drums. It's always the case with this album. You always feel like the first one to take the step forward when you need to have a little bit of a heavier moment in the track. It's always the drums, then followed by the guitars. It seems to be the DNA of this record, and this song is no different. I really like that dynamic. I really like that somber, more deep, really mellow start of the track. I like that, and I like how it switched through melody, switched into heaviness. I like that approach. It really created a very cool dynamic. The melody of the chorus on this track is absolutely magnetizing. I love the melody of the chorus. It's just beautiful. It elevates the song. It elevates your spirit. Just absolutely magnificent. The aroma that gives to the song is nothing less of spectacular. Alternating heavier verses with more melodic chorus is really the heartbeat of the song. It really allows the song to have these up and down motions to it. And then bringing the keyboard as the song closes off, in my opinion, allows this track to go full circle, because it starts off very mellow, it becomes a little bit heavier, a little bit more dynamic, and then as it closes off with that keyboard, it becomes mellow again, it becomes very dark and somber. So this is a song that pretty much the way it starts is the way it finishes, going full circle. Next, Tulley. I mentioned briefly this song before. This song could have easily been an instrumental track. Actually, there's not a lot of vocals in this song, but it's a song that, in my opinion, it would have worked perfectly well as an instrumental track, but having a little bit of vocals in this song works. And it works because those vocals are in Finnish and not in English. To me, that added a different approach. It added a different feel. It allowed the vocals to work on a song that, to me, is almost an instrumental track. I think if the vocals were in English, I don't think you would get the same nuances, you wouldn't get the same atmosphere out of this track as you do now, having the vocals coming at you in Finnish. I absolutely love that aspect of the song. I love that approach. It works extremely well for this song. This song has great keyboard melodies. It really allows the keyboards to give the track a very eerie feel to it, and that works really well for a song that just has vocals sprinkled in at a key moment, almost as a bridge in the middle of the track. So this is almost like an instrumental track that uses vocals as a bridge in the middle of it. I really love that aspect. It's a very unique song. There's no other song like it in the whole album that has this sort of feel, this sort of structure, or this sort of approach. Tulley is one of those standout tracks of the album. Last but not least, Numb. I really like the aspect that this song gives you, which is it numbs you as it starts, which it plays very well with the title of the track. So it numbs you as it starts, and it starts to build up towards the chorus, and you know the chorus is going to erupt with energy, and that's exactly what happens. This song has that up and down structure all the way throughout. You feel like you're a little bit more in a dip during the verses, and then you have a lot of energy coming at you during the chorus. Now, this song also uses backing vocals and adds volume by using those backing vocals. I really like that aspect of it. I really feel it's important for a song like this to have those backing vocals, because the song has a lot of melody into it, has a lot of a somber and this dark feel to it. So in order for you to gain volume, to gain heaviness without adding harsh vocals or really heavy guitars or even over the top drums or blast beats, any of those elements, one easy way to perhaps give that a sense of heaviness without necessarily making the song super heavy is adding backing vocals to the vocals. It just gives more volume. It just makes the song feel bigger. It makes the vocals feel bigger as well. I really like that. It allows it to be one more robust track. In this song, the solo is absolutely phenomenal, and in my opinion, really blends the feel that this song has, which is the more melodic approach with the heavier approach. So I really like how the solo combines the elements that this song has and how it gives a lot of life. It's really extended, it's really a long solo, and it really breathes life into this track, and it allows the track to be pushed forward, giving it a lot of a momentum forward to the song. The heavier drums that this song has really gives the track an outburst of power and strength. So in certain moments, you have the backing vocals working from that perspective, giving volume, giving presence, specifically on a vocal perspective. And on the other hand, you have the drums coming in very powerful with a lot of presence, specifically towards the finishing part of the track. The drums really come in with a flurry, and then the guitars blend into it. So you have this really heavy approach as the song closes off. The song really closes on a heavier note. It's a song that has ups and downs, but when it reaches the back end of it, it really feels like it's reaching to the stars. It really has this heavy momentum going forward with both guitars and drums parallel to each other, working in unison to really push this song to the finishing line. Alright guys, this is it. This is Dawn of Solace Waves, out January 24th on Noble Demon. Absolutely magnificent record. If you're a fan of doom metal, but more important, if you're a fan of good metal music, and if you're a fan of Thomas and all the work that he's done throughout the years, I highly recommend you guys check out this album. It's magnificent. 8 incredible tracks, 8 very unique and different tracks, and overall one magnificent record. Alright guys, this is it from me, but I want to hear your thoughts on the singles, on the album, on Thomas's work. Use the comment section below. Let me know your thoughts. I'll be reading those and getting back to you. Take care, guys.